DC here, hi guys and gals. Well, I was tagged to do a video, and I forgot to write down what was the name of the tag. I think it was behind the scenes tag. It was from Dave Nicholson, and I'm sorry, Dave, I had not seen this before. I would have done it before because it's quite interesting. Now let me see. There are 16 questions, so I'll try and get to them as fast as I can without, glossing over them nevertheless. Okay, so what camera do you use? Right now, I am using Sony Digicam. I have two of those. I had a Sanyo, which I used a lot in the beginning of my YouTube career. Actually, no, I even had a handheld Nikon or what. But I'm a geek. I have two Sony Digicams, and I have two DSLRs. I use the 80D, a Canon 80D, quite often, and I use a Canon G5X quite often as well. Added to that would be my cell phone and my iPad, which I use as well. Is that it? Pretty much so, I guess. Yeah, okay. So those are the ones that I use mostly. Okay. Who films for you? That was the second question. Most of the time I film myself. Every now and then when we're doing a family vlog or something, I'll let Mrs. DC have the camera. It's always funny because when Mrs. DC films, she adds her little comments, and it can be hilarious at times. And but most of the time I film myself and I film everybody else. What editing system do you use? That is interesting. In the beginning of the YouTube days, that's about 10 years ago now, isn't it? Probably might even be more. Anyway, in the beginning of the YouTube days, I would use Windows Movie Maker. Then for a very long period, I use Sony Vegas. And Sony Vegas was great if you're doing collabs and, really fancy stuff. I've done corporate movies on Sony Vegas, for example, stuff like that. It's a very high professional thing. Then, for several reasons, I got a Mac as well, and then I'm using Final Cut Pro and or iMovie. But frankly, in the last years, it didn't really matter what I would use. I even sometimes use iMovie on the iPad because most of the time now I vlog. And if I vlog, it's just like, I just talk into the camera and throw it all online. I've got formats. That's one of the reasons I've got the cameras that I have, is that they have formats that I can use directly into my iPad or my iPhone if I'm on business trips. Without converting or things. But like I say, very often now I don't even edit anything. I just throw it on, which I'll probably do with this one as well. Let me see. Do you use artificial or natural lighting? Well, if you're inside, I suppose you call it artificial. But I do mostly both. I mean, as those who follow my vlogs know that I do a lot of walking vlogs. So that's just outside. And if I'm inside, I don't know, I kind of try. I do have some studio lighting in the basement, which I use every now and then. But frankly, not very often. I end up using whatever is there, and at least try and get enough lighting so that you can see me. What is a top item on your filming wish list? Equipment, product to use in video. Right now, nothing particular. I would like to get a new lens for my DSLR, but that's more for picture taking, although it does take excellent videos. Any special? No, actually right now I would say I have pretty well everything I need, so I don't need to get anything else. What is your favorite day of the week to film? I'd like to say that it was every day, but that's not true. I don't make videos every day. I don't have any particularly special day, but I do tend to make more videos on the weekend just simply because I have more time. Over lunch hour, when I have enough time on the break, I love making videos there because I usually go and eat in the woods. So I would actually say, and prefer making videos almost when I'm away. in the woods where it's nice. But it'd probably be mostly the weekend, just simply because there's more time. As simple as that. Do you plan your videos, and if so, how? As other people have answered, yes and no. Sometimes I have a theme, or if it's like now, like if it's a tag, well, I'm planning it yes and no way because I've got the answer. I mean, sorry, the answers, but I have the questions. Sometimes I see something really interesting, like an article. I'll just print it out so that I have it a little bit in my head. Usually I just go out and shoot like I'm doing now and just talk, and you get what I sputter out of my mouth, and that's not always that's probably not always the best way, but I'm strangely enough I'm doing less and less editing, and more that's just the way it's going to be. It's vlogging as such. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, the answer is yes and no. We used to do a lot of collabs. I'll come to that in a second, but let me see. How long does it take for you to film the average video? Between 7 and 10 minutes, something like that. I usually tend to have them around there. I've noticed that a lot of people don't really care if they're longer than that, and yeah. On the other hand, I'm getting to the point where I really don't care anymore. Let me see. How many... where am I? How long does it take? How many hours do you spend editing the average video? I kind of answered that one already, actually, but if it was a collab, it could be hours, if not days, when it was a really big collab, yeah. Favorite type of video to film? Well, actually now I would just say walking vlogs. And walking vlog might be like if I'm traveling, and I will show you around while I'm, for example, when I'm geocaching. And I like to walk in a novel setting and vlog about a subject which might come to my mind on the day if I'm listening to something and say, oh, let's talk about that. Yeah. Well, that was that favorite type of video to film. Do people at your school or work know about your channel? No and yes. They don't know which channel it is. Some people do know I have a channel. Many people know I make videos. Nobody from work actually is on either my YouTube. I don't want them there, frankly. And nobody on work is on my Facebook stuff. I don't accept friends from my workplace. I've never actually, which is not a problem. Nobody's asked. But they know I make, a lot of people know I make videos, but you know something? They don't seem to be interested, so it doesn't make a big problem. I don't hide it, but I certainly don't actively promote it. What is your process of thinking? What is your process of thinking of a video idea? Well, like I say, sometimes it's a subject. If it's a theme, like for example now, like a battery is dying, and I see it. No, I mean, what is the process? It varies. I mean, sometimes, like I say, often I read because of my work. I do a lot of reading, and I come up on topics which I find are interesting, or like I like to go about it. I listen and watch podcasts and videos a lot, and that creates a lot of response. And I mean, I tend, like to verbalize a lot what I think, and actually videos is a good thing for that. I mean, I tend to verbalize it, and I think it as it goes. So yeah, I mean, that is the process of thinking of a video idea. Sometimes it's just a canvas or a template, and then it kind of like comes out as I'm doing the video. Okay. Do you feel awkward filming around other people, for example, in public? Rarely. My camera is usually there. I just kind of film. I sometimes have the impression that people feel awkward being around me when I'm filming. They kind of like make long detours, or was last weekend I was filming near the river, and you could see the people were like almost, I don't know, almost, I wouldn't want to say panicky, but weirded out to see this guy talking to a camera. I think that was what, sometimes that's what the people wonder. I mean, many years ago, when somebody would talk to him or herself, you'd say, oh, the person's schizophrenic. Today, with cell phones, most people will talk out loud. Nobody makes any idea, but you're talking to a phone, and people kind of have no problem with that. But if you're talking into a camera, they know it's not a phone. So they actually, you can see they're freaking out a little bit at times. I think they're worried to be online themselves. Do you have a tube friend that you like to plan video with? Oh, well, actually, that would be Tweetness in many ways. Tweetness and I, we've made so many collabs. We don't do much now, actually. We still chat and we Skype quite frequently, but still, we have not made any videos lately for a long time. A lot of life reasons for that. Each one on our own side. We have other things, but yeah, I always loved making videos with her, but I've made collabs with several other people, and it's always been a lot of fun. Or if you meet up with YouTube people, it doesn't happen very often for me, but that is fantastic. Making videos with them. What is your subscriber goal by the end of the year? If I went onto my YouTube channel and removed all the inactive subscribers, I think I got something like, I don't know, probably around 650 now. But if I went and removed all the inactive subscribers, I'd probably have, I wonder if I'd have 20. It was, I don't have a goal because you have to look at your things on the downside, basically. YouTube, compared to 10 years ago, is not what it used to be. And yet it's still fun. What I do have as a goal, if one could say it, and I don't really have one, but I do appreciate when I get more views or more comments, just simply more interaction. On the other hand, I interact with people on my own, and if that's good enough. But, sometimes you make a really good video, a really good topic, and you think, like, why aren't people interested in this? But, people are interested in other things, I guess. That's the main thing. And who do you tag to do this next? Whoever wants to. I'm not going to tag anybody, actually. Yeah. So that's going to be DC signing off. Thank you, Dave. Actually, sometimes I wonder, I think tag videos are something I quite enjoy when the questions are fun and make me think. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Dave. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.